Life isn't easy, and it was never meant to be. Every person you admire today once faced something that seemed impossible to overcome. Problems are not punishments, they are teachers in disguise. Yet most people panic, complain, or give up too early. They forget that problems are the stepping stones to mastery, that every solution discovered reshapes your destiny. Think about it. When was the last time you faced something that made you stronger? Maybe it was financial struggle, heartbreak, betrayal, or failure. In that moment, you felt lost, trapped, and powerless. But what if the problem wasn't there to break you, but to build you? What if the very pain you're trying to escape is actually pushing you toward your greatest breakthrough? The truth is, successful people don't have fewer problems. They just have better strategies to solve them. They think differently, act strategically, and rise above chaos with calm focus. Today, I'll share with you 8 powerful secrets that can help you solve any problem in life, no matter how big or small. These aren't just theories. They're principles used by leaders, thinkers, and achievers throughout history. By the end of this video, you'll realize that your problems don't define you. Your response does. Let's dive in. Because once you master these secrets, you'll never see a problem the same way again. Secret 1. Calm your mind. First, when problems hit, most people do the exact opposite of what they should. They panic. Their mind races, emotions explode, and every decision becomes a reaction, not a choice. But here's the truth. You can't solve a problem from the same chaos that created it. The first secret to solving any problem is simple. Calm your mind first. Think about it. When your phone glitches, what do? You restart it. When your computer freezes, you don't keep pressing random buttons, you let it reset. Why? Because once it cools down, it starts working again. Your mind works the same way. When life overloads you with stress, pain, or confusion, you need to press that internal reset button. Calmness isn't weakness, it's strength under control. It's the quiet power that turns confusion into clarity. Every great leader, from Nelson Mandela to Steve Jobs, knew this. They understood that emotional chaos blocks logical thinking. When you're angry or afraid, your brain shuts down the part responsible for clear decisions. That's why people say things they regret or make poor choices when they're emotional. They're acting from impulse, not wisdom. So the next time you're drowning in problems, don't rush to fix everything. Sit down. Breathe deeply. Step away for a moment. Let the storm inside you settle. Go for a walk, listen to calm music, or just stay silent for 5 minutes. You'll notice something powerful. The problem begins to shrink, and solutions begin to appear. Remember, peace is not the absence of problems. It's the ability to stay centered in the middle of them. A calm mind doesn't panic, it plans. It doesn't react, it responds. The most dangerous person in the world is the one who stays calm under pressure, because that person always finds a way out. Stay calm, and you'll realize the solution you were chasing was waiting inside you all along. Secret 2. Define the real problem. Most people fail to solve their problems not because they can't, but because they're trying to fix the wrong thing. They fight the smoke instead of finding the fire. The second secret to solving any problem is this: define the real problem clearly. Imagine you're trying to fix a leaking roof, but you keep mopping the floor instead of patching the hole above. No matter how much you clean, the water keeps coming back. That's exactly what happens in life when you attack the symptoms, not the source. You waste time, energy, and hope, and the problem keeps returning, stronger each time. Clarity is power. Until you see the problem for what it truly is, you'll keep spinning in circles. Maybe your issue isn't money, it's poor habits. Maybe it's not loneliness, it's your fear of connection. Maybe it's not lack of opportunity, it's lack of preparation. The surface problem often hides a deeper truth underneath. The real question isn't what's wrong with my life, it's why does this keep happening? Take time to dissect your struggle. Write it down. Ask why at least 5 times. Each layer you peel off brings you closer to the real cause. When you name it, you tame it. That's how true solutions begin. With understanding. Great problem solvers are not faster than others. They're just more precise. They spend 80% of their time understanding the problem and only 20% solving it. Albert Einstein once said, "If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions." That's wisdom. So before you panic, pause. Before you act, analyze. Before you fix, understand. Because when you define the real problem, the right solution often reveals itself. And that's when you stop fighting shadows and start changing your life for real. Secret 3. Take responsibility. Here's a hard truth most people don't want to hear. You can't solve a problem by blaming someone else. The moment you point fingers, you hand over your power. But the moment you say, "It's my responsibility," everything changes. Because responsibility is not about guilt, it's about control. It means you accept that while you may not have created the situation, you have the power to change the outcome. Think about it. Blaming others feels good for a moment, but it solves nothing. Complaining is like rocking a chair. It keeps you busy, but takes you nowhere. The people who rise above every obstacle are those who look at a problem and say, "This is on me and I can fix it." That mindset shifts you from victim to victor. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for the world to change. You become the change. You stop expecting others to apologize, to rescue you, or to make life fair. Because life isn't fair, but it is flexible to those who take charge. The moment you own your mistakes, your failures, and your actions, you gain the power to rewrite the story. Successful people don't waste time blaming parents, society, or luck. They focus on what they can control: their attitude, their habits, and their response. Remember, you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. That's what responsibility does. It puts you back in command of your direction. If you failed, learn from it. If you were hurt, heal from it. If something didn't go your way, build from it. Every setback carries a lesson wrapped in pain. Responsibility helps you unwrap it. The moment you stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, What can I do about it? That's when real transformation begins. Responsibility is not a burden, it's freedom, because it gives you your life back. Secret 4. Break it into pieces. When a problem looks too big, your mind instantly tells you, it's impossible. You feel overwhelmed, paralyzed, and defeated before you even start. But here's the secret the most successful people know. No problem is truly impossible if you break it into pieces. Every mountain is just a pile of small steps waiting to be climbed. Think of any great achievement: building a company, writing a book, losing weight, or mastering a new skill. None of it happened overnight. Every massive success is simply a collection of small, consistent actions stacked on top of each other. The problem isn't that your goal is too big. It's that you're trying to carry it all at once. When you face something overwhelming, stop and simplify. Divide it, chunk it down. Ask yourself, what's the very first step I can take right now? Don't focus on the 100th step, just the next one. Because progress builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Each small victory makes the next one easier. Remember, even the ocean is made up of drops. The secret is consistency, not perfection. If you keep solving small parts every day, the big problem starts solving itself. It's like untangling a knot. You don't yank the whole thing at once. You loosen it thread by thread until it frees itself. When your goals seem too far, focus closer. When the weight feels too heavy, lift what you can. When life feels too complex, simplify your focus. The people who reach greatness aren't the ones who did everything in a day. They're the ones who did something every day. So next time life throws you a mountain, don't stare at the peak. Look at the next step. Because the truth is, you don't conquer mountains in leaps. You conquer them in steps. And if you just keep taking one step at a time, even the biggest problem will eventually bow down to your persistence. Secret 5. Seek a new perspective. Sometimes the biggest barrier to solving a problem isn't the problem itself, it's how you're looking at it. When you stare at something for too long, your mind gets stuck in a loop. You keep replaying the same thoughts, making the same assumptions, and expecting a different result. But here's the truth. You can't find a new solution with an old perspective. Imagine you're trapped in a maze. You walk around endlessly, turning the same corners, hitting the same walls. From your point of view, it feels impossible to escape. But if you could rise above the maze, if you could look from above, the exit would be obvious. That's what a new perspective does. It lifts you out of confusion and helps you see what you couldn't before. When you're too close to the problem, distance brings clarity. Sometimes all you need is to talk to someone wiser, or even someone completely outside the situation. A friend, a mentor, a coach, or even a book can open your eyes to possibilities you've overlooked. Great thinkers don't isolate themselves from advice. They seek it. They know that fresh eyes often spot what tired minds can't. Never be too proud to ask for help or another viewpoint. Even the sharpest minds need mirrors. Perspective transforms pain into purpose, mistakes into lessons, and endings into beginnings. What seems like rejection might actually be redirection. The key is humility, the courage to admit, maybe there's another way. Once you shift your perspective, the entire problem changes shape. What once felt heavy becomes manageable, and what once looked impossible becomes a challenge you're ready to face. Remember, the problem doesn't always need to change. Sometimes you do. Because the moment you look at life differently, life starts looking different back at you. Secret 6. Learn, don't complain. Every time life gets tough, you're given two choices: complain or learn. One drains your energy, the other multiplies it. One keeps you stuck, the other sets you free. The truth is simple. Complaining is the language of the powerless. Learning is the mindset of the strong. When you complain, you focus on what's wrong. You feed the problem, not the solution. But when you decide to learn, everything shifts. You start asking better questions. What is this trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? What lesson is hidden here? That's where transformation begins. Every challenge carries a hidden gift, but you can't see it if you're too busy blaming, crying, or quitting. The people who rise in life are not those who had fewer struggles, but those who turned every struggle into a classroom. They didn't say, "Why me?" They said, "Try me." Think about Thomas Edison. When asked about his thousands of failed attempts before inventing the light bulb, he didn't complain. He said, "I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work." That's the attitude of a learner, turning failure into feedback and pain into progress. The truth is, life is the greatest teacher you'll ever have, and the price of learning is discomfort. Every mistake, every setback, every heartbreak is a lesson written in bold letters. But most people ignore it because they're too focused on complaining about how unfair it feels. If you want to become unstoppable, start thanking life for the lessons hidden in your pain. Don't waste your energy on "why me?" Use it to grow stronger, wiser, better. Because when you learn instead of complaining, you rise above your problems instead of drowning in them. Remember this: problems don't define your limits, your mindset does. So stop complaining, start learning, and life will reward you with wisdom no classroom could ever teach. Secret 7. Take action. Imperfectly. Here's the truth that separates dreamers from doers. Thinking doesn't solve problems. Action does. You can plan for months, visualize for years, or wait for the right time, but nothing changes until you move. The biggest trap most people fall into is perfectionism, waiting until everything is perfect before taking the first step. But guess what? That perfect moment never comes. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who act. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates clarity. You might not have all the answers right now. That's okay. You'll learn them along the way. Every great achiever, from inventors to athletes, started before they were ready. They stumbled, fell, adjusted, and grew. What mattered most wasn't their perfection. It was their persistence. Think of it like driving a car at night. You can only see as far as your headlights, but that's enough to get you home. Life works the same way. You don't need to see the whole road. You just need to take the next step. Every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to the solution. Stop overanalyzing. Stop fearing failure. Every mistake teaches you something that thinking never could. Even a wrong step forward is better than standing still in hesitation. Because the truth is, inaction is the real failure. Action, even messy action, is progress. So when you face a problem, don't just sit there and think about it endlessly. Do something. Try, test, move, learn by doing. Life rewards courage, not comfort. You can't steer a parked car, so get moving, even if you're unsure. Remember this: imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. The world doesn't need more people who talk about change. It needs people who take action to create it. So take that first step now. It might be small, it might be messy, but it will move you closer to the life you're meant to live. Secret 8. Have faith, patience. You can do everything right. Stay calm, plan carefully, take action, and still, the results might not come right away. That's when most people give up. But here's the final and most powerful secret to solving any problem. Have faith and patience. Because sometimes, life's solutions take time to unfold. The seed doesn't sprout the day it's planted. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly overnight. Growth takes time, and transformation requires faith. But in the waiting, most people panic. They think silence means failure. They mistake delay for denial. What they don't realize is that patience isn't doing nothing. It's believing something is happening, even when you can't see it yet. Faith is trusting the process when the path isn't clear. It's believing that every step, even the painful ones, is taking you somewhere meaningful. Patience is the strength to hold on until the storm passes. Together, they form the ultimate solution mindset. Because the truth is, some problems are not meant to be fixed instantly. They're meant to shape you. When you lose faith, you stop too soon. When you lack patience, you destroy your own progress. Look back on your life. How many times did something that once seemed like a disaster later turn into a blessing? That's the power of time and trust. Life was working for you all along. You just didn't see it yet. Faith says, I know this is hard, but I believe something good is coming. Patience says, I'll keep going until it does. And together, they make you unstoppable. So when everything feels slow, uncertain, or unfair, breathe. Stay calm. Keep moving forward. The best things in life are built brick by brick, day by day. Your job isn't to force the outcome. It's to keep showing up. Because one day, when you least expect it, the pieces will fall into place, and you'll realize the problem that once broke you was the one that built you. Every problem you face in life carries a message, a lesson meant to shape you, not destroy you. Most people run from their problems, but the wise face them head-on, knowing that every struggle hides strength within it. You've now discovered the 8 secrets that can help you overcome anything. Calm your mind, define the real problem, take responsibility, break it into pieces, seek new perspectives, learn instead of complain, take imperfect action, and finally trust the process with faith and patience. These aren't just strategies, they're life principles. They turn fear into focus, chaos into clarity, and pain into power. Problems will never disappear completely. They evolve as you do. But once you learn how to handle them, they stop controlling your life. Instead of saying, "Why me?" you'll start saying, "Try me." Because now you understand that you're not the victim of life, you're the student of it. Every challenge you face is a test of who you're becoming. When life throws storms at you, remember, calm seas never made strong sailors. Every problem is preparing you for a greater purpose, a higher version of yourself. So the next time you're trapped in confusion, remind yourself, you've got the tools, you've got the strength, and most importantly, you've got the power to rise. Problems don't break you. They build you into the person you were always meant to be. Keep your faith strong, your mind calm, and your actions consistent. Because the truth is simple. You can solve any problem in life when you believe you can. Learn from every challenge and never stop moving forward. You were not born to be defeated by problems. You were born to rise above them.